21 Dreams. Sal's Paintbrush.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Sal. Sal had been in prison for many years. She had entered prison as an adolescent, and she was still there. She got on with her life in prison every day, trying to be quiet, trying not to get into trouble. And that was all the future seemed to hold. Since Sal had been in prison for such a long time, she'd taken all the courses that were offered there, and she often went to the library. Over the years, she had developed an interest in art, and slowly, she began to feel a desire to see art in person. She had never seen a sculpture up close, or a painting in a museum. She dreamed of going and sitting in front of a painting, but not just any painting, the huge series of water lily paintings by Monet. But she didn't think this dream would ever come true, because most of those are in a museum in Paris. Sal's desire to see the paintings became so strong that she decided to ask if they might set her free, just for a day, just to realize her dream. Such things had been done before, for example if a prisoner had a family event to attend. She went to see a prison officer, but the officer, in spite of Sal's plain, quiet ways, didn't like her at all. She said to Sal, "For the years you remain here, I will make sure you never leave the prison. Remember, you are not free." Sal left the prison officer, feeling dejected, hopeless. She'd been in prison for what felt like an eternity. She'd grown up there. She hadn't seen anything of the world, not sat before a single beautiful painting. Then, as she wandered sadly through the prison, she came across the art room. Although Sal loved to look at the art, she'd never tried making it. She'd never stepped inside the studio before. But today, she peeked through the window. Inside, she saw a beautiful green room, with coloured pictures on the walls, paintings made by the prisoners. She went in and picked up a brush. Maybe I can be there, with the lilies, if I paint them myself. Sal tried to imagine what it would have felt like to be Monet, living in that beautiful garden, the smell of the lilies and the lake. Suddenly she remembered another beautiful smell, of green grass. It was from before she was in prison, when she lived with her family. They were travelling through the countryside. Sal's window was down and her head was sticking out of the car. She began to paint, but instead of the water lilies, she was painting her own memories. Sal was painting freely all over the walls. They were already green, so now she was painting flowers. Then the officer opened the door. Sal cringed, thinking the officer was about to tell her off. Maybe even take away her privileges. And indeed, the officer was about to do just that. But as she looked around the room and saw the huge beauty that had come from Sal, whom she'd only ever thought of as a prisoner, she began to cry. "I might not be a prisoner, but I spend all day in here. Your painting makes me think of childhood and a beautiful day in the countryside. Is that what you were thinking of?" Sal smiled and replied, "Yes, I was painting my freedom."